Hey everyone, today we're going to start a new segment on the channel, and it's actually going to be all about starting.
So you start your subscription, hit the button and the bell and the notifications, and we'll all be starting at the beginning.
All right, we're going to start at the beginning.
It's a very good place to start.
It is. Hi, I'm Mandy.
I'm Ben.
And this is Mandy's Mini. The path to improvement.
Everybody wants to be better than they are.
Yeah, typically.
Unless you don't, which is okay too.
Right. What we're going to do is make a series of videos outlining my journey, the way I learned everything, as an option for you. Everyone takes their journey a little bit different, and you, of course, don't have to take the same path. But by putting it out there, it's an option for you.
She's going to show you her journey, and then she's going to drag me along on it.
Right. But for now, why don't we get started with how we got started?
That wasn't even all that long ago.
Not really. Well, in a way, it kind of was, actually.
If you're looking at whole life progression-wise, yeah, a bit.
No. For many years, we've been married. How long have we been married for?
We have been married for, at this point, crap, I gotta do the math, 2004 to 20...
Almost 19 years.
Almost. 18 years this year.
May will be 19.
Oh, that's right, it's 2023.
Typical husband.
Oh, low.
For many years, we have played D&D.
I always liked the idea of playing with miniatures, but we never had any,
and he didn't want to paint them.
I never did, no.
So he kept trying to get me to do it. He got me a couple of minis, and I had some old craft paint. I painted those up and refer to those now as Scary Mary. They're bad.
Terrifying.
And it was a miserable process. I knew nothing about what I was doing. I took some paint, I was trying to slap it on, and it did not go well. The truth is, miniature painting is hard.
So you know what I did? She was struggling and having a rough time, so what did I do? I doubled down, and I bought her a dragon.
Dragons are big. Big is easier. I enjoyed painting the dragons, so I stuck with that for a while and slowly started learning more about what I was actually doing, and finally decided to give it another go. That was much better.
It was much better.
And I enjoyed it very much. So I started getting into actual miniature painting, and that happened in 2020. Since then, I have become a commissioned miniature painter.
You get to learn from her experience.
I'm going to go over some basics and some good practice habits. I don't necessarily follow them myself, but I'm already in bad form because didn't learn about them right at the beginning. So don't make that mistake.
Really, we are going back to the start and pretending that you know absolutely nothing about painting.
And if you're much further along in this journey, well, then you may want to think about doing what I'm doing right now, and that is going back to the basics and see if there's any little nuggets of information that I had missed the first time around.
They say there's always something new to learn.
Right, so let's see what we can learn. We're going to go at this as if you're brand new, so that means that we are going completely cheap. If this is a new hobby, you're not going to invest a lot of money in it to try it out until you know you like it. So don't go rushing off to get the best of everything just to try out the hobby. That's ridiculous. There's time to upgrade if you like it. So we're going to start by going over materials. What you're going to need: 2 sheets of paper towel. You can see I also have some paper towel down here protecting my desk. Not sure why I always do that, because it's my painting desk and it's a mess. Next, you're going to need paint, preferably miniature paint. I recommend starting with Reaper. It is a great line, really easy for beginners, formulated for miniature painting, and it is one of the thinner thinner paints with really good coverage. So it's really good when you're starting out and don't know what consistencies should be. However, we're going cheap. We're going with the craft paint. I really haven't painted with these since Scary Mary, but I'm confident I have learned enough about paints to be able to do this well and show you how to do it well. And if not, well, you've had that disclaimer. Haven't done it since Scary Mary. Cheap brushes. Dollar store is fine. Doesn't really matter. We got this pack off Amazon. There is like 100 brushes in there. We got it for like $3. These are cheap disposable ones we use when we're doing something that we don't expect the brush to survive and don't want to spend a lot of money on it. Something to put your paint on. This is a dollar store palette. Paint cup with water. Do not use a cup that you're going to drink out of, even after it's been washed. Once you put paint in there, it's kind of done. And don't drink your paint water. It's not good. I've never done it. Since we're going to be going over habits and getting in good habits, one that I've always managed to have is my painting water stays on my desk. My drink that I'm drinking stays far away. That way I don't accidentally drink the wrong one or put the paint brush in the wrong one. Well, finally, a miniature. Something with more texture is very good. And if you went out and bought a nice expensive mini, don't make that your first one. You will not be happy with the results on it. So set yourself up for success. All right. Now, also talking about good habits, we're going to start with posture. This is something I wish I had learned earlier, but I'm already in a bad habit of slouching and being all over the place, and I suffer greatly, not only with back pain, but also causes my migraines. So it's now something I have to keep a very close eye on. But definitely, since you're just starting, get in good habits. Make sure you're painting with your back straight. Put your elbows on the table. That gives you some stability. And put your mini up at eye level. So you're able to look at it without hunching over. Also want to make sure you have fairly good lighting. Now, the first paper towel, you want to take it and fold it into a little section. And this is going to be our wet bed. And we're going to use this as we're painting to kind of dry off the paintbrush, and also to help shape it. We want to keep a nice tip on our brush as much as possible. That makes it easier to get into all the little nooks and crannies and details. So the paper towel right here, very helpful for that. This brush we're going to use later on step. This paper towel we're going to use in a later on step. Those actually go together. Let's get to painting.
You want your paint to go on in smooth, thin layers. Be sure to add enough water so that your brush strokes are not leaving little peaks and raised areas. Some people like to test on the back of their hand, but you can also use your wet bed. It's better to err on the side of too thin when you're starting out because you can always add more layers. However, if your paint is too thick, it will leave a textured look and show your brush strokes. One particular catchphrase that has caught on is too thin coats, and it's a good general rule when you're starting out. Until you have more brush control, I recommend doing one coat of each color, then going back and doing a second coat on each color so that the first layer has plenty of time to dry, and you can also clean up your mistakes. We all make mistakes, even the pros, so don't worry about it. Just make sure you take the time to go back and clean it up. Next, we're going to create a wash. We're going to take a dark color, I'm using black, and add a lot of water. A lot. The idea is to flood the model and the pigments will dry in the recesses, so we want this to be really liquidy. You can purchase some pre-made washes, but this way you can always create your own and save some money. There's no need to be careful with this step, just slap it all over. It's going to be our shadow color. After the wash is completely dry, we're going to dry brush. With the flat brush and paper towel we had set aside, put some bright color, like white, on the brush, and be sure you get it down in the belly, the middle of the brush. Wipe off most of the paint on your paper towel. You heard that right. We're going to remove most of the paint off the brush. That way, when we lightly brush it across the model, it only hits the raised areas, giving us great highlights. And there you have it, the absolute basics and a nicely painted model. Now go paint some more and make sure you enjoy it so you know if you want to continue on the road to improvement or get off at the next exit.
All right, so that's it for this one. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for watching and getting to the end. If you did, congrats, you're awesome. If you didn't, you're not going to hear this anyway, so it's okay.
And that's your fault. Nobody to blame but you.
If you haven't already done so, be sure you do all the things. So, the algorithm likes us. And
we can feel special. Feel like you like us.
With that, I hope you learned something today. I'm going to get us out of here before he gets even weirder. And till next time.
There are people out there that like my weird.
We're going to go now.
Have fun.
And keep creating.